Uttama Prabhu, you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure.
No, no, you just came on here to look pretty, right? Um,
Yeah.
I, I, I'd love for you to tell us how you get energy from your husband.
Hmm.
Is that fair?
Sure. I'll say that in in strong marriages, I find that husband and wife share a deep sense of meaning. So I find that because we do share a deep sense of meaning in our service and various aspects of our life, that's really, really helpful. It's not that we just get along. We actually support each other's hopes and aspirations, and we've been able to build a strong sense of purpose in our lives together. So, one of the things that's very energizing to me is when we're able to share deep, meaningful conversations. It's interesting. We had a couple one time, and they said, "Yeah, our daughter, she always wants DMCs." I said, "What's a DMC?" She goes, "A deep, meaningful conversation." So we said, "Yeah, that's what we like too. We like those DMCs." Right? You feel very energized and uplifted. You get a deep sense of inspiration when you know that your husband understands you and you understand him, and that you can encourage each other and foster and support each other's aspirations. So it becomes really encouraging to work towards your own aspirations when you feel that support and that strength from your partner. And of course, I'm always energized when he carries in the groceries and fills up the tank of car, the gas tank and things like that. Not only does it give me more energy left over for other things, but I just feel like so loved and supported that that makes me want to reciprocate not only in my relationship with him, but it gives me more energy for all of my other relationships. So I find that reciprocal service can actually be very energizing in a relationship. And another thing that's very nourishing for me, it's actually a lifesaver, is he stays grounded when I overreact. And, because when you overreact, whoa, things can spiral downwards. And if they jump on your boat, then you're really in a mess. So somehow or other, those times when he's just able to stay grounded and, keep me above, that energizes me to go for my higher self and not stay wallowing in my lower self. So I find that really helpful. When my husband was explaining how Srila Prabhupada was very encouraged by his Grihasthas working together, I remember how in the beginning of the movement, Srila Prabhupada used to always be so proud of his Grihastha couples. He said, my spiritual master tried sending out sannyasis, and somehow or other they weren't that effective in preaching Krishna consciousness and spreading it. But somehow or other, my Grihasthas have been able to do what others couldn't do. And I noticed that, yes, in the beginning of our Krishna consciousness, we get very much energized by Prabhupada's energy and by our practicing Krishna consciousness. But if we don't continue to get energy in our relationships and from other devotees, we really can't sustain that service. So you'll see that Grihasthas, they maybe start out with a bang, but if the energy in their relationships can't be sustained and strengthened, usually they can't keep maintaining their spiritual services. So we actually see that there is that need to give and take in relationships. And when we do it, the result is actually spiritualized relationships where we have spiritualized energy. And I see that that's so dynamic, and that Srila Prabhupada was really appreciative of that. And so I see that we also need to try for that.
Interesting. Yeah, this idea of becoming inspired, uh, and like you give some service, and the spouse gets inspired and reciprocates, and it reminds me of Krishna looking at Radharani, and he becomes more attractive because he's so filled with love for Radharani, and then that inspires her, and she takes that in, and then she becomes more attractive, and it's like this give and take back and forth. So that actually, you've had this experience where that practically um, works. It works just through the reciprocation of service and care that we give each other.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
also I get encouraged if I see him encouraging others. Even that's encouraging to me. It gives me more energy to do the same.
that's great. Um, yeah, if you mentioned something there that made me think of this question. Um, how much of a responsibility do I have um, for my own?
Provide your own energy.
Yeah, to provide myself with my own energy. Um, and when are my expectations um, too much that I should be getting this from my spouse? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I don't think you can really have any expectations that you're going to get it from your spouse. You have to have that energy yourself.
Yeah.
And when you have it, you'll be able to give it. And when they have it, they'll be able to give it. Just expecting that you're going to be able to leech off the other person for your energy isn't going to work. I don't
It's
think
not
there's any
how
leeches in the spiritual world. It's one of those material world creatures.
parasites probably do not live in the spiritual world. So wait, so what if your spouse is trying to give you energy, right? They're trying, but what they're trying to give you does not give you energy, right? That their attempts do not match what you maybe need.
Then you need to be, first of all, appreciative that they're trying. And then, what was his John Lennon quote? Like the guy sometimes just doesn't know. So you got to tell him what you need. Prabhu, I know you love to work all day, but what I really need is for you to talk to me when you come home. Like, I love the paycheck, but even more, you know, I'd like you to talk to me. So sometimes, we have to clue them in.
Great, thank you.